Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for tuning in to my latest video. This client attended with bilateral, so when we say bilateral we mean on both sides. Impacted occluding earwax. The right ear, which is the ear that we are in at the moment, was the worst one out of the two. You can see the wax extends right from the ear canal entrance, and we know we're at the entrance because of the cilia, the hairs. The hairs in the ear canal only grow in the outer third, the cartilaginous portion. The cartilaginous portion of the ear canal bears the hair follicles, whereas the inner 2/3 of the ear canal, which is literally a thin layer of skin on bone, they don't have any hair follicles. And this is extending all the way to the eardrum. So the average ear canal length is around 2.6 to 3 centimeters in length. I started off with a Zollner suction probe, but I could feel the wax was lodged very deep in the ear, beyond the isthmus. So an isthmus is a narrowing, and there's two isthmuses in the ear canal. The first one is about 1 centimetre into the ear canal. That's around the second bend of the ear canal. So the ear canal also has two bends. The second bend is where the bony part of the ear canal and the cartilage part of the ear canal meet. It's called the osseo-cartilaginous juncture. There's a narrowing there, and there's also a second narrowing 0.5 centimetre away from the tympanic membrane. So the tympanic membrane is the eardrum. And when you've got wax lodged beyond these narrowings, you really do have to force it out. You have to extract it. So use a Zollner suction probe. I went in with an ear hook. The ear hook did get some wax, but it actually dissected through the centre of the wax. So I've just gone back in with a Zollner suction probe. Jobson Horne at this stage, it's very difficult to get it in and behind the wax because the wax, as I said, is extending all the way towards the ear canal, and the surface area of the Jobson Horne is a lot wider than the ear hook. The ear hook we can manipulate into smaller gaps. So it was able to microsuction another piece of wax out, and with the ear hook I've tried to go pierce into the middle of the wax, but as you can see it's just quite soft there and it's just dissected through. So I think I've just tried to use a Jobson Horne here, but you can see it's very difficult to, well, the ear canal is completely occluded, so I can't get in behind, so I'm almost just applying some pressure and scooping the lateral piece of wax, but I won't be able to get any more out. I can't get in behind. So I've just gone back in with the Zollner suction probe, and I'm just lifting the wax off the roof of the ear canal wall, and that can create a bit of an opening for me to then later go with an ear hook again or a Jobson Horne. So quite often you have to use the instrumentation in tandem in support of one another. So it's not always the case that when I'm using an instrument, or we're not trying to, maybe not be specifically trying to remove a piece of wax, and maybe just be manipulating the wax to allow another instrument to go in. You can see this patient's got some dead skin keratin as well attached to the ear canal wall, and that was on the right hand side of the anterior wall. You can see when I'm wriggling this, it's not coming forward, so it is lodged. The wax is off the canal walls, so it's not that it's adhered to the canal walls anymore, but further in, deeper, medially towards the eardrum, it is lodged, and that's why when I'm trying to wriggle it's not coming forwards. There is a bit of hair, a bit of cilia matted. The patient did advise that they do trim their ear hair, so I've advised in future when they do trim their ear hair just to place a bit of cotton wool just at the entrance of the ear canal, not too far, because we want to ensure they can remove it, and that will prevent any loose hairs from travelling and entering into the ear canal. So this piece of wax is a bit drier, the more medial piece of wax. I'm hoping now the ear hook, when I use the ear hook, it won't dissect, and I can get in a lot further and behind now. I've literally gone towards the eardrum with that ear hook, and because the wax is a bit firmer and drier medially, I was able to hook the ear hook itself doesn't just slice through the wax, it actually took with it, extracted with it the wax, and it just got lodged in the concha ball, so I used my fingers and gloves just to remove that. There's the patient's eardrum. Don't know whether you can see the narrowing, this isthmus, the second one, a bit further into the ear canal. You can see it narrows, just there's a bit of dead skin around the perimeter of that narrowing. You can see the ear canal kind of goes up from the base and then it then goes down just over here where the tip of the camera is. That's an isthmus, that's the narrowing. So that's the patient's right ear. This is the patient's left ear again. The patient didn't feel it was as bad. You can see visually it just looks as impacted. Again, the wax is a bit sticky. So I've just loosened this from the canal wall. It was adhered to the canal wall near the entrance, and I've just lifted that, so that dead skin that was attached. The dead skin is almost like double-sided sticky tape. It sticks to the canal wall and it sticks to the wax. I've just loosened that. I've just now glided in the ear hook in through the anterior canal wall, so the front part of the ear canal wall, and I've rotated it into the wax, and because it is a bit soft, you can see again it's just dissected through. Nonetheless, I managed to get a big chunk of wax there. Again, I've just used my fingers to remove that. So I can just see the roof of the eardrum in the distance. So I'm just going to poke the ear hook into the centre of this wax. So I'm not trying to get it all out in one big go, doing it segment by segment. And we're on the posterior canal wall, and as that hook was going towards the back part of the ear canal, the posterior, I rotated it so we didn't want the sharp dagger end making contact with the ear canal wall. So the wax slowly but surely it's coming forwards. So this wax now is a bit firmer, just like the right ear. So I'm just trying to dig into it. And you can see it's a lot firmer, it's dry, it's gripping to the wax. The ear hook's just not slicing through anymore, it's having some purchase and grip. I think this is the last piece, so it was quite a large piece and it just got trapped near the entrance. So I'll say this earwax extraction is primarily due to an ear hook. However, the ulnar suction probe and even a Jobson Horne in the first ear did play its part. So the patient has got a bit of dry skin in the ear canals, a bit of otitis externa. Don't experience any itching, but I've just recommended to use some olive oil spray regularly. The olive oil, it works in several ways. It's slightly acidic, so the ear canal is slightly acidic as well. The oil will help moisturise, lubricate the skin that lines the ear canal, prevent it from drying and cracking, and that will help facilitate the natural migration of wax. And also some olive oil in the ear acts as a water repellent. Oil is hydrophobic, so if it coats and lines the ear canal, water, hopefully if it does accidentally enter the ear, we don't want it to enter, it will just wash away. So you had a still image of the wax on a piece of tissue, and I weighed it as well, 781 milligrams. It's quite a big haul. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and you're having a lovely Saturday. I shall speak to you all soon. Thank you. Bye.